Hi guys, it's Broderick here, and in today's episode I'll be doing a PC build for just under 1,200 Australian dollars. The target for this PC is that it hits the resolution of 1440p and plays games easily. So I've picked out all the, best price to performance parts to be able to hit this sort of price. So let's get started off. Unfortunately, Windows 8, it costs $115 or Windows 8.1, and that's going to take up a lot of a price. But what can you do? If you don't want to pay that and you want to pirate it, you can do whatever you want. I'm not recommending you pirate it, because I'd recommend that you get it cheaper somehow from some website. They give out codes for cheaper, but it's all up to you how you get your OS. So now we're moving on to the CPU. The CPU I've picked is the AMD FX 6300 6-core Black Edition processor. So it is clocked at 3.5 and boosts to 4.1 GHz. It is a beast, and obviously it's got 6 cores, so that's enough for gaming. You only need 4 cores for gaming. But since AMD, has its cores for so cheap, I thought I'd go 6 instead of 4, since it's such a beast PC, and you may as well just get the 6 instead of 4, because I tend to find that the AMD cores are slightly less powerful than Intel's, but they're still very good for gaming, and it'll be definitely awesome with the GPU I've matched up, and that is the, R9 290X. It's the XFX R9 290X with 4 gigs of video RAM, and it's got a double dissipation heatsink, so it doesn't really throw air out the back. It sort of gets it around the case because it's got that type of cooler. You'll be able to overclock this, but I don't know, this sort of graphics card runs pretty hot with the reference design, so it's really up to you what you want to do with a cooler. So it's going to be a beast for 1440p. It's on par with the 780 Ti, a bit slightly less, or I'll give it to, it's a slightly more powerful than the 970, that's what I'll give it. So it's definitely enough to play 1440p games at maxed out settings in 2014 and hopefully early 15, so it's going to be a beast there. So now we've got our RAM. Our RAM, you don't need 16 gigs of RAM to game, you only need 8 because games only use 2 to 4 gigs of RAM. So that's why I've picked the Kingston HyperX Fury. I made it the black color, and that is 2 times 4 slots of RAM, so it's 2 RAM sticks running at 1600 megahertz at 1.5 volts. So that's sort of standard DDR3 memory for you. It will do the job, it's perfect, it's not going to be a bottleneck or anything, and in the future you can easily upgrade it with your motherboard, because the motherboard I've picked is pretty good as well, and that is the ASRock 970 Extreme 4 motherboard. This motherboard has enough PCIe lanes to add extra graphics cards. It's got enough of a Wi-Fi card, so you'll be able to crossfire on it if you really want to, but if you're going to crossfire it, I'd recommend upgrading the power supply that I'm going to recommend, because this power supply is just recommended for one card, and this card, the 290X, is a very powerful or power hungry card. I looked at the minimum power supply requirement and it said 750 watts. Usually they say about 500 watts, so this is pretty power consuming, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting your power. Who really cares about power consumption? Because me personally, I overclock and I don't really care. But then we've got the power supply, which is the Cougar RS 750 watt 80 plus certified power supply. So it's basically, as I said, just enough to do what you want it to do, and it'll be fine at doing that. So now we have the case. So the case I picked is a very nice looking case for the price. It goes with a power supply because they're both the same brand. It is the Cougar it's the Cougar MX 300 black mid tower case. So it's a very appealing case. It's got a little nice side panel for you to look at your components. It's got extra slots for fans so you can install them in to get better cooling, and it fits SLI graphics cards if you want to do that in the future. So now we've got our hard drive. The hard drive is standard, it's only a 1TB Western Digital green. You can go a bit cheaper if you're really on a budget, but I'd recommend a terabyte if you're getting a sort of high-end performance system like this. And it's got a nice hard drive speed. I'm pretty sure it's 7,200 RPM or something like that. And that leaves us to the wireless card. So I've picked the TP-Link TLWN881ND wireless PCI adapter, so PCI Express adapter, so it goes on one of the 1 slots on the motherboard. So that'll give you enough download speed for anything you're doing when you're gaming. But once again, this is a component you do not need, because if you've got a nice Ethernet setup in your room, don't even worry about chucking this in your PC and you've saved yourself $19. So that's really good value if you've already got Ethernet. And then once again, you don't need it, but it's a Samsung DVD player, and that also retails for $19. But depending on how you install your OS, you don't need it, but I'd highly recommend it because a lot of games come in discs and you can get really good deals with games at store sometimes, so it's good to have a cheap little disc player in your PC as well. So that about wraps up the video. This would be perfect for playing first person shooters, any type of PC game you can throw at it for a fairly long time. And I'll just restate my statement about upgrading the graphics card. Please upgrade that power supply to about, I don't know, 950 minimum watts for this power hungry card. They are not power efficient, but they are definitely powerful. So if you want a crossfire, definitely get a beefy power supply to do so. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're wondering where I got all these parts from, I got it from PC Case Gear, which is an Australian website where you can buy parts from that ships to all of Australia. And one more thing, if you're wondering about the price, obviously the prices were in the, I guess, little images I had of all the parts, so you can just go back on the video and have a look at all the prices. I'll also have all the parts in the description below, so you can have a look at it and maybe consider this PC for your next beast build. And once again, with custom PCs, you can obviously change the parts that you're not too happy with. Maybe you want to go for a complete black look, so maybe the motherboard wasn't to your liking because it's got a bit of blue, but I think it looks nice with the graphics card because that graphics card isn't the standard AMD red, so it doesn't really matter. It's more of a blue-black PC build, so it's really up to you how you customize it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this PC build. I definitely look forward to doing more in the future because I really do love just building PCs in general. So if you have any questions about this build, once again, leave it in the comments, and remember to have a really nice day. See ya.